Good evening, everyone across the nation. Welcome to Virtual Bedtime Stories, hosted by Burst Into Books. My name is Camille Butterfield Elliott, and I'm coming into your home from Springfield, Massachusetts. Before I begin, I want to thank Jarima Gorham for having me this evening, and I'm hoping that we'll have fun this entering the world of the little boys and girls in each of the books that I will read to you tonight. Our first book is Lola at the Library. We're going to join Lola on her adventure to the library. Okay, the book is by Anna McQuinn, and the pictures are done by Rosalind Beershaw. So let's get started. Let me make sure you can see. Lola loves Tuesdays. On Tuesdays, Lola and her mommy go to the library. And there's a nice picture of them. The library opens at 9 o'clock a.m., but Lola is ready to go long before that. She puts all the books she borrowed last week into her backpack. Her library card is also very important. The library is not very far away, so Lola and her mommy always walk there. Lola and her mommy give back the books from last week. The librarian buzzed them in through the machine. There's a special section in the library just for children. It is really cool. Nobody ever says, shh. Sometimes they're singing, and Lola knows all the words in the hands for Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Sometimes there's story time, and Lola loves that. After story time, Lola chooses her books. In the library, she can have any book she wants. Lola loves stories with bears and anything with shoes. There's so many, it takes ages to choose. Mommy has some books too, and she and Lola take them up to the desk. Lola must bring her books back in 2 weeks, but she will probably bring them back long before then. Lola and Mommy always get a snack after visiting the library. Mommy normally has a cappuccino and Lola has juice. Whenever Lola has been good, her mommy lets her taste the foam. Then it's time to go home again. Every night, Lola is tucked in her bed and her mommy reads her a story. It is the best way to end the day. And that's it for this book. But I do have a second book. And our second book is called The Year We Learned to Fly. And it's written by Jacqueline Woodson with the pictures done by Raphael Lopez. So let's join the adventure or the journey that we will have in this book. That was the year we learned to fly. That was the spring when the rain seemed like it would never stop. And the thunder boomed so hard. We weren't allowed to go outside. Use those beautiful and brilliant minds of yours, said Grandmother. Lift your arms, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and believe in a thing. Somebody, somewhere, at some point, was just as bored as you are now. So there's Grandma talking to them. So my brother and I closed our eyes, and for a few minutes that first day, we weren't stuck in our apartment anymore. We were flying over the city we've known our whole lives, but it was suddenly different, exploding with every kind of flower we've ever dreamed of growing. That was the summer we learned to fly, when my brother and I couldn't stop fussing with each other over whose turn it was to wash the windows, to feed the dog, and to clean the kitchen. We fought and frowned and made silent promises to never speak to each other ever again. My grandmother said, "Lift your arms, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. And stop being so mean about everything. Somebody, somewhere, at some point, was just as mad as you are now." So we did. And as the soft wind took us out over the city and past the windows of the kids who hadn't yet learned to fly, my brother and I reached for each other's hand, flying and diving and laughing and leaving all of our mad far behind us. Boy, look at that adventure. That was the autumn our rooms felt too big and lonely, with only us in them, and the darkness coming on so fast. But while we hugged ourselves against the too quiet of it all, we remember that we don't have to be stuck anywhere anymore. My grandmother had learned to fly from the people who came before. They were aunts and uncles and cousins who were brought here to on huge ships, their wrists and their ankles cuffed in iron. But my grandmother said nobody could ever cuff your beautiful and brilliant mind. So, our people learned to fly, she said. They dreamed the thing and made it happen, closed their eyes and flew all the way home. Lift your arms, my grandmother said, close your eyes, and remember, somebody somewhere at some point had figured out that they could fly. So look, she's flying in the air. And that was the winter we moved away from the building and the block and the friends we'd always known. They're going bye-bye. So like the people who came before us, we lifted our arms even higher, closed our eyes even tighter, breathed in even deeper, and flew the way we've always known how to, free as the aunties and uncles and cousins who came before us, free as our own beautiful and brilliant minds. Look at that. So for a long time, the kids on the ground watched us. Then one by one, they lifted their arms. One by one, they too learned to fly. And I believe that's the end of our story. This book is based on African American folk tales. So I love to use my imagination because I can go anywhere my mind takes me. And I hope you use your imagination to go to fun places too. I enjoyed our evening together. So sleep well, and we'll see you next time. Take care.